Hello and welcome to a very special show here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. We are going to announce the finalists for the RLPA Players Champion in the NRLW. I'm joined by Ruan Sims and Alana Ferguson. Girls, Emma Tonegado won this award last year, but gee, there are so many girls that have put their hand up that there are so many that could have been on this list for season 2022.
Absolutely, and I think that's a testament to how great the competition's been going this year and how much it's stepped up. And you know, I think for me, this award in particular is so special because it's voted on by your peers.
Yep.
And I think to be voted on by the people that you play with and against is one of the highest honours that you can get.
Yeah, as a player, this is the one that means the most. Other than taking that big team trophy at the end of the year, if you've got an individual award, this is the one you want because it means people respect you both on and off the field and your ability and as a footballer.
Well, just for a bit of context as to how it works, every contracted NRLW player gets to vote at the end of the season. It's on a 3-2-1 basis only for opposition players, so you cannot vote for yourself or for your teammates.
Just to clarify,
I wonder if anyone would ever vote for themselves.
I had a cracker game round two.
Let's get stuck into the finalists then. So first off, from the Roosters, in her first season back in the NRLW following the birth of her second child, Sammy Bremner has slotted in so well there at fullback for the Roosters.
She deserves this nomination. I mean, to come back after 2 children and hit the heights that she's just hit the ground running. Her whole year to date has been fantastic. It's not just what you're seeing at the moment, but her whole body of work. So I've been really impressed with how she's come back into it, and yeah, like I said, deserves the nomination. And it's not just on field for her either. She brings a lot of energy off it.
You know, it's not like, kids aside, it makes a better story to say that Sam's come back after having 2 kids, but she'd be nominated regardless of if she had 2 kids or not. Her football speaks for itself, and I think Sam's game, since she has come back, has really gone to another level. I think her passing game's really improved on the run, which is very important for a fullback when you're joining the line and you've got defence coming right at you. You've got to make that split-second decision. But the biggest one for me with Sam and the way that she's played this season is her willingness to run into the defenders. So the way that she's taking that defensive line on, I've seen her do it, of course, while she's been playing football, but I think she's doing it like time and time and time again, every single game now, which makes her game such a threat. She's always had the speed, she's got great awareness at the back, but I think the way that she's charging into that defence and then coming up with the right option off the back of it, I haven't seen her put her body and herself into that much destruction before to produce that brilliant football. Yeah,
she's squaring up into the line a lot more as opposed to she'd normally be able to skip out and beat people on the outside, but what she's actually doing now is squaring up, holding up the inside defender and then coming up with that, like you said, right decision off the end.
Well, also from the Roosters, our second finalist is Keely Joseph. Big congratulations to her.
Yeah, girl.
Do you think she could potentially be in line for a Gillaroos debut?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think she has been incredible for the Roosters. I think for her to be at such a tender young age, to play through the middle with, look at her, the strength that she has, with her game knowledge, with her understanding, I think it's wonderful to see her nominated because obviously I froth on her. I think she's excellent. I think she's amazing. But for people around her to see what we see from the outside looking in, I think that's hugely important to recognise that because we're only seeing, you know, the great things that she does, but we don't see those little extras that she do. We don't see her turning up early.
Well,
we don't see her doing those bits and pieces.
That's the players. Like, she's in the middle of the field. That's the opposition saying she's so hard to handle. Like, she's got the footwork, she's got the passing game, but she's thrown me off my game like almost every time. For her to make the top, what is it, 5 or 6?
Yep, 5.
Like, the top 5, like exactly right. It's the opposition saying she's a gun.
It is the ultimate compliment. Our third finalist, I don't think this one is a surprise at all. Isabel Kelly, the skipper for the Roosters. She was the best player on the field in the Blues victory during State of Origin, and she just delivers each and every week, doesn't she, Roo?
She absolutely does. And to captain the Roosters this year, I think she's stepped up to a whole new level. And Allana, we were talking about this just before. She's added some extra strings to her bow within the game. She's always had that power game. She's always been a powerful ball runner. She's always had that strong carry. But the way I think also that John Strange is using her swinging her around both sides of the field is just adding more and more complexion to the way she plays. And she's added a few little individual skills as well, which I think has really stepped her up.
Yeah, for sure. I think her timing of knowing when to do that as well. Like, they're the little things that her game has and it grows weekly. But she's, of course, leading the Roosters. I think that's testament to the way that she's playing. And, yeah, the little subtleties, like her passing game, Isabel Kelly, it's gone through the roof.
Yeah.
I thought it was even better when they played the last season at the beginning of the year. But this 2022 season, decision-making and also those big moments. Because whilst the Roosters have been dominant, I think Isabel Kelly's put her hand up every time the Roosters need to get back on the front foot, because there have been moments in games when they've been in the grind and they've needed those huge efforts, whether it's getting out of their own end or making that line break or coming up with a big defensive effort. She's put her hand up and said, all right, team, this is how we're going to do it. Launch off the back of me.
And no clearer display of that was in the win against the Knights. They were down. Exactly. She picks it up, scores a runaway try and gets the win for the team. So, yeah, very much. Again, another one where the opposition vote on her and say, well, we can't put her down at all. She's like, Tedesco, that perpetual motion, she's like pinging off all of the lights. She's amazing.
Well, the opposition have obviously found it hard to single out one individual from the Roosters, because our 4th finalist, also from the Roosters, a big congratulations to Raecene McGregor. What is it about her game do you think that's been most impressive this season, Allana?
Well, she's controlling the game for the Roosters, right? So I think we've seen her game management. You can see her putting in a kick now, a bit more of an attacking kick, but I think we've seen her game management like really on song. She knows when to put in an attacking kick, when they need to just get that territory and pin the opposition down, because they do back their defence, the Roosters. But some classy touches, like that one just there, that's on the leaderboard. Like, that was insane.
I think it's still number one.
She knows when, that's our number one. Like, she knows when to play footy and when to get her side out of the tough patches. But I can't fault Raecene this season. She's so impressive.
Yeah, and when you consider as well, she didn't have a contract not long before the season kicked off. The Roosters signed her. She has been, for me, the standout number 7 of the competition. Easily.
Consistent too.
Easily. Consistently coming up with the right decisions. What I love about her game is she's actually moving the defensive line around like chess pieces. She just moves them around, and then when she sees them in a position that she wants, she'll strike. And she's got that, holds the ball in 2 hands, she'll dummy out, she'll cut through the line, and then she sets up either Sam or Izzy or Jess, whoever's with her.
Or all of them.
Or all of them, just running through.
Come on, guys.
Everyone.
Triple up.
Yeah. And like I've just loved watching her progress. I've loved seeing her, you know, step into that role as the number 7, and I think she deserves it. And, you know, I can't believe that we're going to have to play against her in the World Cup, because she's killing it.
Well, our 5th and final finalist from the Eels is Simaima Tolfar, and she's a veteran of the game. 9 games for Australia, 6 games for New South Wales, and Allana, in what's been a tough season for the Eels, she has led in every sense of the word.
Yeah, well, you look at their last performance, a win to get them into the finals. She not only led their metres run, she also led their tackle count. Like, that is enormous. She gets through so much work, Mimes, and it's the same at training during the week for the people that have played with her. Like, she will blow your mind, the things that she will do. But the Eels have been so close in a few games, and Mimes is the one that's never dropped off her role. She's constantly leading them when the team either gets a try or lets a try in and they come in together. She's the one speaking to them. They've got quite a young side. They've got some really new combinations. She's bringing them all together and resetting them. But through her actions is why she's on this players-player leaderboard, because as an athlete, as a footballer, she's just so hard to contain.
Yeah, and again, when you consider as well, these are voted on by your opposition peers, the people that you play against. They see the value in the work she brings, and they see the value in what she does on and off the field, and it just comes to fruition. Every time she touches the ball, she just gives it everything. She finds her front. She gets a quick play of the ball. If she's injured, she'll stay on if she has to. She'll come back on if she's injured, if the team needs her. She's a very selfless team player in that aspect.
She is, absolutely.
And I think it's easy to see why she was voted for this, because I loved playing alongside her. So I imagine I preferred to play with her than against her. So I imagine everyone else feels the same.
Absolutely.
I think her short passing game too.
It's improved. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That's caused so much damage. Just having that ability of bringing her other forwards onto the ball. And committing more defenders. Like that's been a real asset of hers this season.
And that's the way that sort of lock position's moving now, is to be an extra
Modern
ball
day
player.
lock.
And I think she's developed with the game, and that's why she continues to stay at the top of it.
Yeah.
I know this is tough, but you have to predict one winner.
Alana can go first.
Do we?
Yes.
You go first.
No, thank you. I should have read the rundown. I'm going to go... Raecene McGregor. Or Isabel Kelly, Raecene McGregor. Lock her in.
They were my two as well.
Were they?
Yes.
Tag team?
Okay. Right.
We allowed to... No,
Well, we
not
had joint Dally M winners last season, so
True.
potentially we're going to have joint winners.
I don't think for this one.
Let's
I think for
single
this
her out.
one,
Okay.
I think there's too many people voting on this one for it to be a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like one winner.
So
Yeah.
who, did you go Raecene?
I went Izzy. Did you
Izzy.
say
I went
Raecene?
Raecene.
Okay,
I went
that's
Ray.
good to have one
And
of
I've
each.
said Izzy.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
And it's going to go
Both
to
would
Nita.
be...
Can I also say, before we wind this up, unsurprising that there's so many Roosters being nominated, because they have been playing excellent football, and it's because individuals have stepped up and filled the roles that they needed to fill, and they're just executing their gameplay so beautifully. So I'm unsurprised to see so many Roosters in on this roster, and I think they definitely, they deserve the accolades.
Well, the winner, whether it is Izzy or Raecene or one of the other three finalists, the winner is going to be announced on grand final day, of course, on our exclusive coverage. So we cannot wait for that. Tune in on grand final day for the winner of the RLPA Players Champion in the NRLW. We'll announce it right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.